They've done it. They've done it. I think they finally ruined some Phantom Forces stuff. There's a lot of things that come to mind whenever I think of Phantom Forces. I think of pain of dying 500 times in a row because I'm not very good at this game. But the main thing that I kind of think about with this game, and I'm sure that I'm not alone on this, is potentially movement. Movement of all types. I mean, you got the standard, like, classic signature Phantom Forces double jump, basically, right? And then at least whenever it comes to the main game, we have all kinds of, like, jump sliding in every direction and just moving super, super fast and speedy in every direction. And honestly, I've grown really accustomed to this type of movement. I've grown really accustomed to being able to just be as fast and sweaty as possible. I may not be very good with the aiming portion of the game, but at least I can outmaneuver people, right? But unfortunately, in the most recent updates for the test plays, there have been substantial nerfs to the movement that honestly, I'm really not sure that I can praise at all. Usually I give this game plenty of praise because they do a lot of good things generally for the existing community, but I don't believe that this is one of them, and I'll explain why I think this new change might be here to stay. So like I said, Phantom Forces movement, kind of crazy. Move in every direction, slide, jump, zoom all over the place. You can wall run even, which is really, really fun. Whenever you can manage to make it useful, I guess. But they have removed pretty much all of this in test plays. So for the first thing, I will say no, they have not removed double jumping. Double jumping is, I think, always going to be a core feature. I'm going to put this little chart up on screen right here that's in the Spezzy Discord, but they have generally nerfed movement as a whole. And effectively, if you don't know what this means, it means movement slow now. I don't know how better to put it. So the first thing that they removed is not super relevant to me. I think it's called leap sliding. And I think that this is like a key combo that you can basically put together where basically like you jump and dive at the exact same time and it gives you like a huge speed boost. It's not something that I've personally used though. Please correct me if I'm wrong about what it is though. Frankly, a tad overpowered. I will admit that. But now it just kind of doesn't exist at all, period. At least they said that it was removed. I can't quite tell. And there's one other thing that you guys might not realize about this just from looking at this. You can no longer spam it. The whole point of stamina movement was to be able to like do a lot more movement in rapid succession just with that whole stamina bar at the bottom. But now you can't do that. You get like basically like stun locked. I don't know how else to describe it if you really, really try to do some of these maneuvers. And frankly, it just kind of slows down the whole movement experience and just makes the stamina system actually useless. Again, I'll throw that chart up on screen here. And basically, as far as I understand it, lower number equals worse. Generally, yeah, everything's kind of slower. Now, not to mention the fact too that on the kind of topic that we were talking about earlier with wall running is just straight up removed. I literally don't even know why they did this. I can only imagine how long it took to actually implement and get feeling like decent, but it's just gone now. It just, I mean, obviously I'm showing it here. It just doesn't exist. And it's not something that I feel was extremely important or that I used a whole ton, but it was just kind of a little nice to have off to the side. And then I don't know what I'm shooting at a plant right now. It was just kind of a nice little extra to have to be able to do little wall runs and stuff here and there, give yourself a bit of a speed boost, but they just don't have it. I mean, to be fair, we did go like 10 years without it in this game, and then it just kind of showed up one day. But at the same time, I feel like a lot of people have just gotten so used to it being a thing that it just kind of, it's a little bit weird to remove it. I don't know why they'd kind of remove the ability for people to do something that they just added not that long ago. So we have wall running removed. We have like tons of delay between being able to do certain movements, more than we did so before, but everything just feels so much more like delayed. I don't know how to describe it. So for continuing this demonstration, of course, we're going to remove stamina movement. Now, is this all the biggest deal in the world? Not entirely. I mean, you could still sweat super hard, and I can imagine there's probably already people that have commented, oh my God, what's that? You can't sweat even harder now? Oh, boo-hoo. Now maybe the game will be easier for people. And yes, I'm a man who will admit whenever he's wrong about something. As much as I like my silly, fun, super fast, speedy movements, it does lead to a lot more hyper sweating, and it's a lot less new player friendly. I mean, while it's easy for me to like zoom around all over the place, if I play a game like Bad Business, which is also fairly movement based, I get really cranky because of how people play the game. So I really have no reason to complain. And that kind of is the exact reason that I think that they're slowing down movement as a whole. I don't know, I'm shooting at my teammates now. That's kind of the reason that I think as a whole that they are going to slow movement down. I think the main thing is that they're probably trying to maybe expand the player base, maybe get some more new people in, maybe make it new player friendly. And for that, I entirely respect it. At least that is what I imagine is going on. So is this the end of Phantom Forces? Are you no longer allowed to move in this game? Are you now a Team Fortress 2 sentry gun? Well, Obviously, no. Things are just a little bit slower, and while I really don't like this change for myself personally, I understand that there's a kind of a grand scheme here that's a bit more than just, hee hee, I like to go fast. Now, I will say it does look like they did revert the change for like being able to kind of like jump dive a little bit. It looks a little bit more like they actually do still kind of have it. But at least in the Spezzy Discord server where they were kind of showing some clips here, it looks like it was removed there. But again, it could be entirely something that was reversed due to people screaming their heads off. However, I do now entirely think that stamina movement is basically effectively useless. And that makes me sad to say, but unfortunately that's the case. And yeah, just in general, everything just kind of feels a bit more sluggish and delayed. So, you know, do with that what you will, I guess. Well, there's not really all too much to talk about other than that today. It just looks like we've got some movement, like slowy downy stuff that we'll probably be seeing in the main game within the next couple of weeks. Though we are going to be getting 2 new snipers here soon, a new AK as well at some point, and it's just all extremely exciting. I'm hyped for it. And I guess you gotta take the good with the bad, right? If what the hope is to maybe bring in more new players and stuff, I absolutely hope that it is something that is successful, and I hope that we can, as a whole, be willing to accept that the game should be, I guess, maybe more new player friendly, just to be able to have more people kind of stay whenever they find it, because it's a good game. I like it, and I want more people to play it. And yeah, I understand that this is a little bit all over the place. My mind's kind of a little bit mush at the moment, and everything is so uncertain. Stuff is constantly being changed in the test place, and honestly, by the time that this video goes up, it would not surprise me if some more stuff has been changed regarding the movement. But for the current state, it honestly doesn't feel a crazy amount different, just a good bit slower than it does in the main game. Well, what are your guys' thoughts on this? Do you hate this change? Do you think in the long term it's going to have positive repercussions, positive outcomes? Positive changes, whatever you want to call it. Do you think it'll be a good thing down the line? Do you think it is the worst thing that Stylus has ever done? Definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Let's keep the discussion nice and happy. I think that'd be really, really cool if we could do that. For me, like I said, I respect what they're trying to go for, but at the same time, it does kind of bother me that they're doing these drastic changes just kind of out of nowhere. I do hope that these end up being good changes later down the line, and maybe it's tweaked such that everybody is happy, but, you know, unfortunately, it can't make everybody happy. Well, that's pretty much going to be it for today's video. I understand that it's a little bit shorter, but there's really not all too much to say about this. It's a little bit too early to say. I just kind of want to make a lot of you guys prepared about what might happen in the coming days or weeks for Phantom Forces. And of course, obviously, like I said, new stuff's coming out soon. So definitely get subscribed if you have not done so already to keep up with all of the latest and greatest news about Phantom Forces. If you'd like as well, you can become a channel member like the lovely, lovely people up on screen right now. Up on screen too, you'll find a Phantom Forces playlist with over 500 videos in it. Obviously, a great binge session. Fantastic even. There's a lot of videos in there. With that said, again, have a great rest of your day. I love you guys so much. Subscribe if you haven't done so already with notifications on. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Also, let me know your thoughts and stuff in the comments below, of course. I love you. See you later. Peace. Mwah.